Sutek family, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak to you today, not only on behalf of the Comedic Science of Prosperity, but more importantly, on behalf of our future generations. My name is Brother Sutek and I represent the Comedic Science of Prosperity. I'm speaking to you on behalf of our children, the children whose futures we hold in the palm of our hands. Our children who are looking for us to provide a way for them that will allow them to provide a way for their children. Family, we have a serious problem on our hands. Our most valuable resource is falling into the hands of our competition. You can substitute the word enemy if you like, but I'll use the word competition. It doesn't change the problem. We are losing control of our link to the future. What is that resource, you ask? That resource is our children. We are not providing our children with the tools and the capital needed to compete against their contemporaries. We work hard to provide for our retirements, but we're not providing for our children in the prime years of their lives. We have forgotten the reason why we study history. We study history so we can prepare for the future, not only the immediate future, but the long-term future. I don't think anyone can dispute what I'm saying here. When we discuss history today, we don't continue the conversation to connect the dots to the future. What type of report card would we get from our children on the subject of providing for their future? I'm convinced it would be a failing grade. You see, their voice is silent. They assume we know what's best for them. We are doing a poor job as a community in preparing for our children's future. Now, some of you may be sending your children to college, and that's all well and good. But what are we preparing them for? Are we preparing them to be independent or dependent? Are we preparing them to be employers or employees? Are we preparing them to strengthen the black community, or are we making other communities strong? I think the answers to these questions are very telling and give a scary picture of what the future holds for our children. I'm here today to discuss a plan of action that will address this issue. But like I said in my other presentation, this is not entertainment time. This is action time. This is a situation that needs to be addressed. We need to put our children in a position to succeed financially. We need to create opportunities for our children to compete with the children of other ethnic groups financially. When a Jewish boy reaches a certain age, he has what's called the bar mitzvah. It's a celebration of the boy achieving manhood. It's customary for the community to give the boy money. This money is used to get the child started in life, to start a business, start a family, or continue his education. So when the child steps into the world, he has a few dollars in his pocket. It's not uncommon for several boys to combine their money and start a business. Other ethnic groups have similar traditions. The question is, what are we doing for our children? Until we accept the notion that your child is my child, and my child is your child, we will continue to promote the success of the individual over the group, and will be stuck on the bottom of the economic ladder and be exploited by other ethnic groups. There's a serious divide continuing to develop between the older generation and the younger generation, that if not remedied, it will be irreparable and catastrophic to our race. We have to address this situation. We cannot continue to turn a blind eye as we've done for the past 20 years or so. We are throwing away our future if we don't address this situation. We did a video with some young brothers that were pursuing a recording career to highlight the youth, let them express themselves. One of the brothers was very passionate about the older generation's lack of productivity in regards to putting the younger generations in a position to succeed. That was a real eye-opener for me. His analysis, to me, was not altogether correct, but it was his sentiment I hear all too often. I realized that we, the elder generation, have been ignoring the pleas of the younger generation for help for so long that now it has turned into a lack of respect and resentment on their part for us. If we ignore this problem any longer, I would hate to see what that resentment turns into. Now, many of you heard me speak before about our social ills, and I traced them back to the Willie Lynch letter. This situation of the youth not respecting the older generation and the older generation not respecting the younger generation is laid out in the letter as a tactic for the purpose of control. Now, whether you subscribe to the tenets of the Willie Lynch letter or not, the issue is smack dead in our face. The question is, what are we going to do about it? How do we regain the respect and, more importantly, the cooperation of our youth? We need them on our side. Right now, they are not on our side. Listen, we need the participation of our women. That goes without saying. And we can't be successful as a race without them in this with us. But this is a call to black men. We need to stand up. I'll tell you a story. I was at a lecture where Zaza Ali spoke. Some of the things she said in her presentation really bothered me. The way she expressed some of her comments, well, they really rubbed me the wrong way. And I expressed them to my friends, Sonetta, Red Pill and the Blue Pill. But after thinking about it, I realized what she was saying was, black men stand up. I would have said black people stand up. But I had to step outside myself, and I realized our woman wants her man to stand the fuck up. And there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, there's everything right with that. So I thank the sister, and I want to let her know I'm trying my best to get black men to stand up. Whether you think it's fair or not, black men are the ones that are being blamed for the non-productivity of the black race. The black woman blames you, your children blame you, and the competition knows that if they keep the black man down, they keep the race down. Black men have lost the respect and the cooperation of their women. Our children don't respect us. Look, this is a hard reality of where we are as men. The world is constantly trying to portray us as incapable of handling the basics of what a man should do. And that's to provide and protect. As a result, our women are proceeding without us. They're seeking comfort in the arms of each other. They're seeking comfort in the arms of our enemies. We have choices to make. Do we fight for our women and children, or do we sacrifice them up to other ethnic groups to do what they want with? Look, don't get it twisted. They want our woman. We know she's a handful, but when she's in her right mind, she's the best woman on the planet. And when we, black men, are in our right mind, we're the best man on the planet. Look, we have a chance to fix this, but we need to come together. Some people come to you with solutions that will help you with your personal, individual finances. That's fine. But our race needs help. As I said before, as Amos Wilson said before, as Malcolm X said before, as Dr. Claude Anderson is saying, as Marcus Garvey said, The individual is only as strong as the group. Am I the only one who sees this? In my presentation, Economic Power, now available in black, I painted a perfect picture of the sick economic condition of Black America, and I gave you a remedy to cure the ailment. I come to you today with another remedy, not to replace the remedy in my previous lecture, but to add to the remedy using the same principles. In my last lecture, when I said the Kemetic science of prosperity is the leader in the economic revolution of Black America, I meant it. We are looking for like minds. We are looking for ordinary people who want to do extraordinary things. We need people who are concerned about the future of our children. They are our most important resource. Our history is too rich for our future to look so poor. The people of Kemetic Science and Prosperity are fighting for your future. As mentioned earlier, in the last presentation, I gave you a report of the economic health of Black America. And I'm sad to say, we are on life support. We're a heartbeat away from the morgue, and we're refusing the medicine. And that medicine is pooling our resources. The other ethnic groups have a DNR order on us. For those that don't know what DNR is, it means do not resuscitate. In other words, let them die. The other ethnic groups are praying for our demise. Literally, they want us to be dependent on them. That's a part of their business plan. Their plan only works if we are dependent on them. In my last lecture, I showed you the main tools, not the only tools, but the main tools used to keep you in a dependent condition. And they are: 1, education; 2, unemployment; and 3, access to capital. I'm going to run through that information one more time for you. We are systematically and scientifically being kept in a dependent condition. The sad part is it would not work without our participation. It is our participation that allows their plan to work. And we participate because we don't know any better. And our so-called leaders aren't teaching us any better. And we're not listening to our real leaders. But now we have the Kemetic Science of Prosperity, and help is here. So what is our big new idea that's not really a big new idea? Well, a young lady named Natasha and her husband, they traveled 2 hours to come see me on 125th Street one day and give me an article on how this town in upstate New York, faced with the loss of a major department store, which would have destroyed their local economy, and how the residents came together, pooled their resources, and built their own department store. They formed a corporation, and the town members bought shares in the corporation, which allowed them to raise the needed money to open their store and save their economy. Needless to say, these people were white. But it got me to thinking, how can we get black people to do something like this? Is it even possible? Has it ever been done before? Well, the answer is yes, it is possible, and yes, it has been done before. I don't want to lose your attention, so I'm going to get straight to the point. The premise still relies on a pooling of resources. We can't get away from that simple concept. Every true black leader, past and present, stresses the importance of pooling resources. You don't hear Al Sharpton talking about black people pool your resources. You don't hear Jesse Jackson talking about black people pool your resources. As a matter of fact, you don't hear any of your black elected officials say black people pool your resources. But you heard Marcus Garvey say black people pool your resources. You heard Elijah Muhammad say black people pool your resources. You heard Malcolm X say black people pool your resources. You hear Amos Wilson say black people pool your resources. You hear Dr. Claude Anderson say black people pool your resources. You hear Professor James Klingman say black people pool your resources. The black towns we're so proud of were built by black people pooling their resources. This is the foundation on which any hopes of progress is built. If we can't grasp this simple concept, then there is no hope. KSP is not only discussing the pooling of resources, we are giving you the mechanism to accomplish it. In the comments on one of my other videos, I saw people saying, we need to do for self. Everybody just take care of themselves. Do for self. When the ancestors said do for self, so we are still stressing the need to pool your resources. However, we added a few new elements from the last presentation. I was also inspired by one of the investors in the Comedic Science of Prosperity, a brother named Clyde Watson from Connecticut. He kind of pointed me in this direction. Another brother that invests in Comedic Science of Prosperity named Brandon, he's been in contact with me, giving me some pointers. So here's the plan. We're looking for a base membership of 10,000 people. 10,000 members we need. We need these members to pay a membership fee of $10 a month. Every 2 months, Comedic Science of Prosperity will have an event where we interview 6 entrepreneurs and their business proposal in the hopes of winning $100,000 in investment capital to start their business idea. Think Shark Tank, only for black businesses. The event will be held at the National Black Theater in Harlem every 2 months to start. And the plan is to travel around the country. As our membership grows, so will the investment capital grow. There will be a panel of 5 judges. My dream judges for this are Professor James Smalls, Professor James Klingman, Dr. Claude Anderson. We want our best minds on this. Their participation will depend on your participation. The judges will vote for the final 3 of the 6 presentations. The membership will vote for the winner of the grand prize from the final 3. Each contestant will have 20 minutes to give a presentation to convince the judges and members that they should win the $100,000 grand prize. The event will be live streamed, so the members that cannot attend the event can view and cast a vote. The winner will be announced at the following event. Now here's the final element. In order to be eligible, the competition is only open to those between the ages of 18 and 25. This is our way of empowering our youth. We need this for our future. We must empower our youth. We must put them in a position where they can succeed. This puts them in control of their future. With KSP and the community behind them, their chances to succeed are amplified. When you were young, and people asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, are you living that dream? Or did you have to settle for plan B? And maybe even in some instances, plan C. With this, our children can live their dreams. We need the energy of our youth. We need to harness that energy so we can move forward. This is what they are looking for from us. They are looking for us to put them in a position of power. We need to put them in power. We put them in power, and they are beholden to us. These are our children that we're going to put money and management muscle behind. Right now, our best talent is being exploited by other ethnic groups. Our best talent is sitting in the jails of this country in the prime years of their life. You saw the young brother in the video. One of them said he spent 5 years in prison. He's 25 years old, and he already spent 5 years in prison. And the years before that, he was involved in activities that put him behind those bars. They're locking up our youth in the prime years of their lives at an accelerated rate. They're privatizing the prisons, and the deal they have with the states is that they must be kept at 90% capacity. You heard Professor Larry. He did 25 years. That was the prime years gone. That was the prime of his life. As much as I bullshit with him and go back and forth on issues with him, I don't wish what happened to him on anybody. This is a tragedy, and he's not alone. Every day I meet people that did 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. If we don't do something, that pattern will continue and get worse. In my first presentation, I gave you a mechanism for pooling our resources. In this presentation, I give you another mechanism for pooling our resources. It is important, it's imperative, it's mandatory, it's essential, it's life and death, it's gotta do it, that we pool our resources. Every other ethnic group does it. Unless we do it, we're going nowhere. The responsibility to our youth will not be realized. We run the risk that the future of our youth will be determined and controlled by other ethnic groups. Is that what you want? Is that something that you can live with? I'm hitting you with some hard truths today. You can either step up to the plate, step up to the challenge, or shrink under the pressure. We need the sisters' participation. But like I said, this is mainly a call to black men. We need to show that we haven't given up. We need to prove that we are worth the air that we breathe. Our race needs us to stand up, black man, to set the example. I don't know how many different ways to tell you we need to do this. I don't know of any other statistics that will prove to you that this is a matter of life and death. You've seen the video of the youth. Do you think they speak for the other youth of this country? Other black youth of this country who are disgruntled with the elder generation? I think the elder generation dropped the ball. I heard other young people say the same thing. I say we need to compete economically if we're going to survive, not only against our known enemies, but our enemies unknown and the ones that are on the horizon. Our own children hate us. They're already killing each other. It won't be long before they come after us. The parents are already afraid of their own children. We need to restore order. We need to put our children in a position to succeed. We need to invest in our children's future instead of investing in the future of our enemies' children. Every time you spend money in another ethnic group's business, you're investing in their children's future. We need to invest in our own children's future. We need to stop thinking like minorities and start thinking like black people. I'm calling for 10,000 people that want to save our youth. This is our form of a Kickstarter. This is a controlled crowdfunding program. Call it what you want. Just get involved. So now, what is the benefit to the contestant? They get $100,000 in financing. 2, Comedic Science and Prosperity becomes 60-40 partners with them in the business. 3, Comedic Science and Prosperity provides back office management support. 4, as KSP members of finances, the business starts off with a customer base of 10,000 or more vested in the business's future success. You will have 10,000 black people rooting for your success and ready to support you. What are the benefits for the members? The members are not only members of KSP, but they are also members in the leadership position of the economic revolution of Black America. 2, the members receive perks from the businesses financed. 3, members share in the profits of the businesses financed. 4, members get preference in submitting business proposals. 5, members get perks from other KSP activities. What are the benefits for the Comedic Science of Prosperity? 1, builds our membership base. 2, it builds our business base. 3, it builds our back office support services business. 4, as KSP is 40% owner in all finance business, it builds income streams for future investment. And 5, it increases the value of the stockholders' shares. And 6, accomplishes KSP's mission. And 7, the KSP shareholders participate in the revenue of the companies financed. 8, KSP shareholders receive perks from the companies financed. Now, we've been accepting ownership investment in Comedic Science and Prosperity, and the membership has been on hold until we had an incentive to do so. We now have that incentive. We were trying to build the ownership before the membership, but we should have done it the other way around. So what are we asking for our members? We're asking you to invest $10 a month. $10 in dues. There are no contracts to commit to. The commitment is in your heart. How important to you is the future of our children? You can drop out at any time. So when we say we need ordinary people to do extraordinary things, we're talking about you. You, the MTA worker. you the postal worker, you the police officer, you the fireman, you the corrections officer. Get your union membership behind this. This includes you, the office worker, you, the hospital worker. We need black people to get involved, black organizations to get involved. Get your members behind this. NFL players, we need you. NBA players, we need you. Major League Baseball players, we need you. Floyd Mayweather, we need you. $10 a month, $2.50 a week, 34 cents a day, and we can make a difference. White people are spending 34 cents a day to save black children in Africa and South America. Will you commit to 34 cents a day to save black children right here in America? KSP is black people trying to help black people. Tell me what's wrong with that. Tell me why you can't get behind that. Tell me what's wrong with that. Tell me why you can't get behind that. When you say you're a member of Comedic Science of Prosperity, you're saying you're helping rebuild the economic foundation in black America. When you say you're a member of Comedic Science of Prosperity, nobody can ask you what you're doing besides talking. We're not a religious organization. We don't care what God you believe in. Our fight is universal. Comedic Science of Prosperity is the new leader in the economic revolution of black America, and we need you to be committed to the Comedic Science of Prosperity. It's your brother Sutek, Deaf to the Negro.